What is a gacha game without a little RNG? The rush of winning a 50-50. The soul-crushing realization your Jade counter just hit 0. That's why going into this one element challenge, I wasn't the one in control, fate was. The first 5-star character we got from the standard banner would determine what single elements we would beat Star Rail with. Yanqing, we were blessed. Might sound weird on his face, but you have to remember, I made this account at the start of the game. Ice was easily the strongest element to start with. March and Gepard for sustain, Ruan and Pela, 2 of the best supports in the game, and Jing, who will be the hero of this whole run. Side note, do you know how crazy it is to hear that a character who hard carried this account is getting buffed? What are you doing, Mihoyo? Ice is blessed in more ways than just this though. March and Herta are units available to us right off the get-go, meaning that I had a near full team already, and off the bat, we're gonna need it.
Annihilation permitted.
This is Farog. You might know him as the cooler half of a certain 5-star duo. Unfortunately, I know him as the warning I never took to quit this challenge. With my terrible carries in Herta and Yanqing, my negative damage gives Farog too many opportunities to fire off AoE attacks, which are devastating for March's mediocre single target shields. This points out one major flaw in our comp for now. Yanqing needs a shield to keep his passive against AoE barrages, but March's shielding forces Farog to hit Yanqing more often, leading to it dropping anyway. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. In another theme you'll see in our account, our problems don't end there. If Svarog's remote hand ever grabs Yanqing, the attempt is immediately over, as he's my only damage. This means for us to clear, we need to leave Yanqing unshielded so both March and Herta have an increased chance of getting grabbed, forcing us to play Yanqing without his passive. Yeah, I didn't know he could get any worse either. Our first fight into this challenge, and I'm already on my knees praying to RNGs to bless me. After playing this song and dance many times, we finally end up in a position where March gets grabbed, with Yanqing barely securing the win by auto-attacking Svarog. Trust me, fights like this were basically the entirety of my gameplay on this account. This specific Kikolia fight was inside the simulated universe. You know, that mode where you get 300 buffs that make your characters look so unethical they deserve a spot on the Supreme Court? Yeah, that one. This fight alone took us 4 attempts to kill, in simulated universe. That's kind of embarrassing, no? Until we got more characters, this was basically every fight. Our free-to-play standard banner roster just wasn't cutting it. Luckily for us, a demon approached on the horizon. Jingliu's banner just released. Let's do some pulling. We're gonna go for not only her, but we're also gonna go for a light cone. First one to get a lynx. Oh yeah, none of the 5 stars on this banner are even useful for this account either. Stop. Normally, you would expect Jingliu to be pulled here. She was the first limited ice character released after all, and exactly the carry we needed for this account. It's pretty hard to pull a character when you quit the game though. Luckily for us, someone at Mihoyo really wanted us to complete this challenge anyway, because the next release would be the biggest abomination the game had seen yet.
Oh, looks like it's tea time.
With Ruan and her light cone obtained, we finally had the strength to get off the ground. Let's see how our rejects will fare in MOC. Oh, alright, so this is going to be the same exact thing as last time, where we're going to have Ruan do literally all of our damage on one side, and we're going to pray that March's sustain plus Yanqing, which is a terrible combo by the way, because they're both so skill point hungry, is good enough. Good luck to me, I guess. I can't do damage with Yanqing while also using March's shielding, which is so bad. This challenge is beyond scuffed. Dude, look at that damage from weakness breaking. Holy shit. Ruan is not balanced. Oh, what is that? It just did half his health bar instantly. Look at this. One shot the little bro. Broken. Oh wait, those things are actually good for Herta. Look at that damage! Dude, it literally did half her health after weakness breaking. What is Ruan damage? She does more damage than Herta does on my account. This is not fair. This is some bullshit. Look at that, it did half of the other ones too. Dude, that's just insane. Ruan is kind of solo 1v9ing entire side. That's kind of messed up. So that's not as much damage as before. Well, I guess because we don't have Pela's ult and whatnot to help out Herta's damage, but maybe we can clear. I actually cleared this with Ruan as my main damage dealer. Dude, how broken is this character? Well, technically it's not cleared yet, but it's cleared. What is this? No, this character is not balanced. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Now I do. I'm gonna wait until after Pela's ult to kill him. Or rather to use my ult. Maybe we can freeze? I want to go into the next phase with more skill points, even though we have Pela to generate skill points. So I think... And this should kill. That didn't kill. Nice. But Yanqing is still impaired? No. Okay, we're good. So I want to kill the Frost guy first, I think. But nah, this guy has two damage debuffs on him. I think I'm going to kill him first. He got the Beads of Sweat procced on him. Not only is Pela giving us skill point generation on the side, she's also giving us big damage for Yanqing. She's going to hit Oh, wait, what? Why didn't I hit March? All right, I think this is a guaranteed clear. He's gonna die to the next... All right, I shouldn't say anything because if they kill Yanqing, that makes this a lot harder. Let's not kill Yanqing. Nice. And then it explodes all three, and then he's like way debuffed, and my life is 30 times easier. And I can maybe 3-star this for... Wait, that's kind of wild. Am I gonna 3-star this? Herta didn't die on the first side, right? Not freezing Yanqing if he gets his ult here? Oh, but I don't have Pela's ult. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, I just lost the clear thing with that. I could have had no down characters. Well, if I wanted no down characters, I think I wouldn't have had the 20 cycle. That's not bad, though. We take those. Yeah, we're kind of limited only having 5 characters, and obviously we weren't going to clear yet. But seeing the accounts having potential while still missing 2 out of our 3 strongest characters was nice. Speaking of nice, Panaconi. Wait, what? we got Gui Knifin, we got Tingyun, and we got Misha all in the same pool. The natural question here is, how are we faring in MOC now? Alright, so this is kind of weird. We only have 3 units, so we're not getting that many skill points, which makes Misha really hard to use. I think we just use skill here. I think I hit here. Maybe Herta kills. Aww. That wasn't that bad. I should probably focus the monkey, because this thing could be really scary. We can just weakness break this thing. Okay, I'll just let... Oh, okay. Bye-bye. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. This is the same exact floor we fought last time, which we had a hard time with. And now they're like 10 levels higher. I am 100% sure we won't clear this. Yeah, I already knew this was going to happen. If I don't kill the ads are just going to take me down. Look at how much damage they do. No, it's actually impossible for me to clear without 2 sustained units now. I just don't have the damage of Chizo. There is no way. I will take getting to floor 7. I thought this was going to fail all the way on floor 4. That's better than I thought we'd do. I think we all expected that, though. Sorry to all 2 of his fans out there, but Misha is not the strongest character, especially since he's on such low eidolons. But with him, we're only 2 puzzle pieces away from attempting to beat this challenge.
Tickets just sitting there, and I know I'm going to get even more. And they're just sitting there doing nothing. I go on my main account, you know what I have?
Oh! Oh! Okay. 1 puzzle piece. Let's do some pulling. We're going to go for not only her, but we're also going to go for a light cone. First one to get a Lynx. Oh yeah, none of the 5 stars on this banner are even useful for this account either. Wait, dude, that's 20 pulls. That's 20 pulls. Why doesn't my main get this kind of luck? Dude, I have all these. I have all of these. 50-50 win. 20 pulls, bro. Oh my god. All right, that's a 5-star. Okay. So we get a 5-star light cone. How many pulls was that? It was like 60, 70? I'm not sure. Surely we win 75-25. Holy. All right, we got Jing Liu, and we got our Lycone, and we got 23k Jades left over. There were a lot of changes between when I actually got Jing Liu and the final run for MOC, so let's go ahead and check out the stats. Gepard is 3k defense, 142 speed, 30 effect res. S3 day 1 of my new life, pretty good traces, 2-piece Panaconi. Rhinne is 142 speed, 211.9 break effect, 41.9 effect res. She's using her signature, decked out traces, 2-piece Panaconi, and 2-piece Hackerspace. Nah, Misha was bricked. 2.1k attack, 137 speed, 65 crit rate, 121 crit damage. S5 free-to-play signature, decked out traces, 2-piece Firmament, and 2-piece Glacial Forest. Only being E2 on him is criminal. Yanqing is 2.8k attack, 136 speed, 38 crit rate, and 219 crit damage. S2 of his signature, good traces, 2-piece Firmament, 4-piece Glacial. Jing Liu's at 2.3k attack. Do keep in mind this was pre-changes. 137 speed, 51 crit rate, 251 crit damage. S1 signature, max traces. She ended up at E2, which is crazy. That was 149 speed, 81.7 effect hit rate, and I think the rest doesn't matter. S5 Pearls of Sweat, good traces, 2-piece Wild Wheats with 2-piece Panaconi. She only had 1 Eidolon, which is crazy. Herta also had 2.1k attack, 136 speed, 70 crit rate, and 124 crit damage. S5 Seriousness of Breakfast, mediocre traces, 2-piece Glacial Force with 2-piece Panaconi, and only E4. March was 3.1k defense, 150 speed, 0 effect hit rate, and 38.9 effect res. S2 Concert for 2, pretty decent traces, 2-piece Panaconi, and 2-piece Hackerspace at E6. For the first time, our account had a full roster. We were ready to tackle MOC, but first we had to make a decision. You all know that MOC rotations overlap. One half contained Yanqing and Sam, two characters that basically required being weakness broken to clear. Yanqing specifically had a mechanic where his swords take negative damage unless you use an element they're weak to, which destroys them instantly. Yanqing also touts a 40% resistance to ice damage, making him the worst boss his account could possibly face. Our other option had two interesting bosses as well. While there was a Kikolia, another character with a 40% ice resistance, the other side had a Rhinne, the only boss in MOC 12 this rotation that had a weakness to ice. Luckily for us as well, March and Yanqing happen to be surprisingly good at dealing with the Rhinne, as their follow-up attacks do extremely well here. For the first time in this account's life, Yanqing might not be a trash unit. You would think given our two options, this was the obvious choice. There's just one thing I forgot to mention. Kikolia wasn't the issue. The demon in hiding. Shell of Fated Rage. This stupid dinosaur refuses to take damage, touting a 60% resistance to everything until weakness broken. Dealing with one of these things is basically impossible. Oh, and there are two of them. I think we know what side we're gonna have to tackle. For our team comps, the thought process basically went like this. Jing is a god, so I shove all the trash with her, and pray to our Lord and Savior Mihoyo that she can carry. As for which half they'll occupy, alright, let's just be honest here. Is Yanqing even man enough to face himself in the mirror? Jing Liu is gonna have to take side one. Jing Liu has vastly superior AoE, which helps deal with his swords, but that's actually not our game plan here. This thing is. Let me introduce you to the at the time memory turbulence. At the start of every cycle, a Trotter spawns. If you kill it, it deals 50% of the current dot damage on the enemy instantly, and has a chance to inflict multiple dots on enemies. Chance. That's the entirety of what this fight relies on. Not once, not twice. I need virtually every one of these Trotters I proc to land that chance. And let me just say, there's a reason we were here for more than 30 hours straight. The game plan itself was relatively simple. I needed time the kills on the Trotters with Yanqing spawning his swords, so that way the dots take care of his babies, while I hard focus on DPSing him down. Then, we need to get lucky with his aggro and pray that March can keep our team alive with their abysmal shielding. After ramming our head for hours on end on this fight, the stars finally align. Yanqing is felled, and it's time to face Sam. Gepard leads with the freeze on the caster girl. This is done for the action bar reduction, so she will be forced to act later. This will be necessary soon. We make sure to lower both mobs' weakness bars at the same time, so they break near each other. The TV mob over here decides to bless his run and gives Ruan her ult early. A welcome surprise. You're probably wondering two things right now. Why is the Trotter not dead, and why am I holding on to all my ultimates? We save Misha's ultimate specifically, so we can use it when the enemies are weakness broken, as he does bonus damage when mobs are frozen. You'll notice I also ult before the new Trotter spawns. That's because our damage on the Trotter won't actually matter, and I want as many procs as possible to hit the elites in case we end up getting bad dart RNG. Now, we wait for the turn cycle to spawn a new Trotter, and Yanqing kills the first Trotter, applying dot to every mob here, including the new Trotter. Now that we don't have to deal damage to the Trotter that just spawned, we can focus on killing the elites. Remember that freeze we did with Gepard earlier? It's because of this. Both mobs right here end up taking their dots and dying right before the turn cycle. But if we didn't freeze the mob before, it wouldn't have taken the extra turn here to take the dot tick, and we wouldn't have had the damage to clear. Now, we have 5 turns to deal with Sam. The first thing you'll notice, the bleed mob is targeting Gepard. With his innate aggro chance, as well as his signature light cone, Gepard face tanking the robot for the entirety of this fight is the only reason we can edge out the sustain versus Sam's insane AoE barrage. Gepard also being one of the few tank characters with a damaging skill is so crucial in this fight as well, as it helps us deal with Sam's mechanic and line up our carries perfectly. Combined with both Misha and Yanqing, as well as the SP regeneration Ruan has, we can consistently stop Sam's kick-ass mode before we wipe. Sam does move insanely fast though, so we have to break him at a very specific timing, otherwise our DPS characters may not get a chance to act before dealing damage. It's also worth noting that when Sam is broken here, he takes additional damage, so making sure to save your ultimates as well as any DPS units acting during this time is very crucial. With Yanqing lined up, we have Misha break Sam's mode, proccing her and allowing us to get to work on our health bar. I think the sleep-deprived loser in the bottom left did a good enough job here that I'll let him take over. Do I hit the Trotter? No, I can't hit the Trotter. I have to hit Sam. Can we hit the Gepard ult here? Auto? Ruan goes, uses her skill. Is winnable. 37% right now, about to go into his form. I can line up all 3 ults. We still have 2 turns to go. We have 1 extra Trotter. 31, it goes to 56. No, he goes to 55. 55, he gets hit once. He uses skill. Okay. I think it should be fine. Hey, Gepard. That is not good. What is the opposite of good? Because that's what that is. That is a bad hit. That is a bad hit. Yeah, I just lost Soul Steal because he griefed me for fun. I can get one more yanqing ult, or one more misha ult, I think. He already lost Soul Steal, so I might as well wait until after his turn starts to do that. I didn't even take the damage from this. Wait, he only got 2 of the dots. You were... You're cringe. He dodged the dots again. Dude, he dodged all the dots. Oh, he dodged all the dots. Can I kill? Can I kill? Can I kill? I don't know if we kill because he dodged all the dots. No, we kill. We kill. Good sir! After nearly a year and 30 hours straight spent on MOC 12 alone, we were able to beat Star Rail using only ice characters. But the fun doesn't end there. If you want to see more challenges like this, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the near future.